Hello everyone, I am back again after a month of break. Today I'll be sharing a video of toric IOL being implanted in an eye with pseudoexfoliation. Pseudoexfoliation is a disorder in which flakes of material gets deposited at the pupil margins, over iris, zonules and at ciliary body. Often we get weak zonules and pupil also remains undilated. Carefully I performed capsular access of decent size and try to remove the deposited flakes on the capsule, making the size of capsular access slightly bigger than the ring of flakes. Good hydro procedures make the nucleus and epinuclear plate free in the capsular bag, which gives less traction on the pre-existing weak zonules. During capsular access, we can get an idea regarding the integrity of zonules. Always keep endocapsular rings standby before starting the surgery. Keep combination of dispersive and cohesive viscoelastics ready in case of need. Non-dilating pupil can be dealt better with the combination of viscoelastics. In case of poor dilating pupil, one can use pupil expander devices for better performance. In this case, nucleus was around grade 4 and I started phacoemulsification without any problem. And care should be taken not to exert pressure on the capsular bag to avoid capsular dehiscence. Good hydro procedures make nucleus fragmentation easy and quite safe. Here I finished the nucleus fragmentation with ease, and now the time for epinuclear plate and cortical removal. Epinuclear plate and cortical cleanup should be done carefully. This is the time where maximum capsular tear occurs. Do not try to grab the epinuclear plate from the center. Always try to explore the tip of the plate or the cortical tip underneath the capsular margin. Since here the pupil was not well dilated, so I hooked the pupil to explore the capsular margin for better holding of cortical tips and epinuclear plate. By this we can reduce the complication rate drastically. In this case, lifting of epinuclear plate was not easy, and in such cases do not hesitate to repeat the hydro procedures again. By pressing the epinuclear plate in the center with curved cannula helps to dislodge the plate from the capsular bag, and it makes the epinuclear plate removal quite easy. And be careful, always try to hold the cortical plate under visualization and keep the eye tip upwards to avoid to catch the posterior capsule. In case of adherent and sticky plate, we can use hydrojet technique to remove the adhesions of plate from the posterior capsule. Do not try to be perfect. Perfection is the enemy of good. Sometimes subincisional cortical matter removal is difficult. If one can use bimanual as irrigation and aspiration tip, we can remove it easily. I always feel comfortable with the coaxial, so I continued. I left some amount of subincisional cortical matter and decided to remove it after IOL implantation. There is no need to run behind the cortical cleanup because this is the time where maximum posterior capsular complication occurs. Since the posterior capsule became quite clear and glistening, so I decided to implant the intraocular lens first. I implanted the single piece hydrophobic toric intraocular lens, and then I removed the subincisional cortical matter, securing the posterior capsule with IOL. I took the help of Varion system for the alignment of toric IOL, and the thorough visco removal is mandatory, especially behind the IOL, to avoid rotation of toric IOLs. After removal of viscoelastics, check the alignment of toric IOL and press the intraocular lens behind towards the posterior capsule, where it sticks with the posterior capsule and chances of rotation becomes quite less. So proper planning and meticulous and safe steps make the surgery successful and uneventful. Thanks for watching.